welcome back to the 18th episode of our still unnamed survival series. If you caught the last episode, we built this farm. Since that episode, I did add another layer, but today we will be completely decorating this farm. So starting off our decorating today, I've come to this little section right outside of our farm area, and this is a little canal. And I thought that this would be a great place to put our water wheel. We're right by this little river, and if this was real life, this water would be flowing, and this would be an ideal place to put a water wheel and a little mill anyway. The idea in my head is that this is a wheat producing area. They move the wheat here to crush the wheat into flour using this big old water wheel that's going to be right here to spin the gears and grind it into powder. So I've been looking at a bunch of old-time mills and water wheels just to kind of get some inspiration and some ideas flowing and try to figure out what this should look like. And I noticed a trend that a lot of these old-time mills have large rocks across the river holding the water wheel in place. So that's what I think we're gonna do now, is build kind of a decorative rock so the water wheel actually looks stable across the river and it fits with the whole theme that I'm going for. I think this looks like a boulder or a rock. I like the shape, but I think it's looking a little bland, so we're gonna add some detailed blocks and just break up the texture a little bit, and we're also gonna add some slabs as well, just to make things look a little less symmetrical. Yeah, that looks so much better, and it looks different from every angle, which I like. No stone is exactly symmetrical, and that's kind of the idea we were going for. Yeah, I really like this. We're gonna keep that. So now that we have our rock in, we need to figure out where we're gonna place the building. I kind of want it around this area, and I've already plopped down a few logs to give me an idea of where I want things to be laid out. So we're just gonna bring these up out of the water to kind of give ourselves a good feel of where everything's gonna be at. And we're gonna stick with the same building size and dimensions that every other building in this village is, which is one pillar block and then a space of 5 and then another pillar block. I think this gives a very good feel to buildings, and honestly, I think it keeps everything in proportion with itself. I'm also gonna be connecting these little pillar things, whatever you want to call them, just so it kind of makes a bit of a frame. I like my frames when building, and all the other buildings in this village have frames, so we are gonna keep this idea as well. So I've gone ahead and completely built up the frame, and now we're gonna do what we did with all the other buildings and put a little base of a brick type, some gray block, just to give ourselves a bit of a foundation to build on. And I'm thinking that in the water and around the water, I'm gonna change out all of the stone types for some sort of vine block, just to make it look like there's algae or moss growing on the side of the building near the water. Yeah, just like this. We're gonna throw in some variants of the cobblestone, the mossy cobblestone, and the stone block, just to give our walls some texture and dimension. Personally, I think when builds only use one type of block, it looks a little boring, so I want to make these buildings look interesting and cool. I've decided to just put the stone variant everywhere in this frame. This is a little bit taller than 5 blocks, so it does stick out a little bit in comparison to the other buildings, but I think that altogether, this is going to be a pretty good choice. I don't know though. I guess we're going to find out together. You know, now that I'm looking at this wall back here, I don't think we actually need it, and we can save on some material. So I'm going to take out these blocks and maybe do something else out the back right here. I'm thinking that I would like the roof on this a little slanted and kind of curved. I think I'm gonna try this with slabs, but I'm honestly not sure how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna start by placing some slabs on the corners here and maybe going out, yeah, something like this. Give it kind of a curve to start off with, and then slowly bring it up, and then work on how it curves out and down. I'm gonna get the shape first with these spruce slabs, and then come back in and texture it with some other colors eventually. I'm not sure if I like this. That looks a little better. I think we're gonna go with this for now and fix it as we go along. So I've finished up the shape of our roof, and now I'm just gonna go around and texture it up, give it some color with these oak planks. I'm trying to keep it in a random feel. Just like that. I don't want the oak planks directly next to each other, so I'm gonna try and keep it random and not in any way symmetrical. I've also got these trap doors that I think would look really nice just thrown up. Oh, that doesn't look very nice. Maybe if they're actually on the full blocks and not the half slabs, they'll look pretty nice. I think this style will look really good for the theme that I'm trying to go for. I just might need to hone it a little bit better. So I've now got the roof finished and the general idea for what this large building is going to be. This was just something to base it off of and to get the water wheel started. And speaking of the water wheel, I think we actually do need to start that now. So we're going to put up the main bracing for the water wheel just to connect this side of the building to our stone. Now that we have the main bracing for our water wheel, I need to figure out where center is. And it's not going to be exactly center because this rock is kind of odd in its placement and shape. But I'm thinking right here. I think we also need to go up a little higher too. I'm thinking 4. And we're going to put these little spindles on all sides of our post. I've put all of the spokes or spindles or whatever you call them in their place. And I was thinking to myself that it looks a little boring if it was going to be just 2-dimensional or 1 block thick. So I think we're going to add a little bit of girth to this water wheel, make it 3 blocks wide just so we can add a little bit of extra detail in some certain places. I think overall the extra bit of dimension is really going to make it look that much better in the long run. Now that this is actually starting to look like a wheel, I think that we could probably just connect them up with some stairs. These are dark oak stairs to match the color of the bark of the spruce log. So in my head, I'm kind of thinking this is an old style water wheel where the wood and the lumber is heated up and bent. So it's all made of one piece. And I was thinking that we should try and go for that look by using some wood and stairs that just kind of match that idea. Something that blended together very nicely, and the first thing that came to my mind was the spruce and the dark oak. The planks for the dark oak look almost identical in color to the bark of the spruce. I'm only putting these stairs on the areas where the logs are at because on the inside right here I'm gonna try and add a little bit more of some popping color or some variants of texture just to kind of make it look a little bit more detailed. And for that detail, I'm thinking that we can use these oak stairs just sunk back a little bit from where our dark oak stairs are, and that might give us a pop of color and a pop of dimension, as well as looking good from pretty much every angle. I am really liking the way that this looks, but I feel like it's missing something, so I think we need a spoke going at a diagonal to kind of connect it and make it look a little bit more structural. I was thinking the stripped oak, but then I ran into a problem where, oh, I'm missing a block there. But I ran into a problem where you can still see the end grain. So I'm thinking that we make some of that 4-sided barked wood and logs, put that there, and then strip it that way. I think that would work out really well color-wise and texture-wise. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some oak wood and make some 4-sided pieces. We're gonna make 8 of those, because I mean that's exactly how much we're gonna need. Alrighty, we've got our blocks, and I think that it's time to place them in. We're gonna do 1 in the corner and then 1 in the corner, and then we're gonna just strip them. Can you not? Why can't I strip this? What the heck? Okay, we gotta test this a little bit. Can you seriously not strip these? Oh my gosh! No, my mouse has got to be broken. Hold on. No! What? Are you serious? Is this a creative only block? No, I swear I've gotten this in the world before. What the heck? Whatever. I guess we're just gonna place these, and It doesn't look bad, it's just not what I wanted. Whatever. I swear you can strip these. You can get this block. Alright, we're gonna move on from the water wheel for now, just because I'm kind of frustrated and it looks good enough to leave for now. We're probably gonna go back and add some detail into this later, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that. But we're gonna grab some spruce again and some stone type blocks again, because we're gonna extend this building back a little bit, just so it matches the width of the actual building I'm trying to go for and the size that I have imagined. This is gonna be a little funky over here, because I don't exactly know what I'm gonna be doing with it yet. You know, for as much effort that I put into this roof, I'm not sure that I'm gonna keep it. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to put a diagonal somewhere in this build, just to kind of keep that gridlock pattern down, and I think this is where I'm gonna put it. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it, but I think I would like this wall at a diagonal, just to kind of mirror the bank of this river a little bit and give it more of a flowing pattern and texture. I might hit the edge of my farm though. I guess we'll see. I think while I'm doing this, just to get my creative juices flowing, I'm gonna lay out the framework of all of this building first, just so I know exactly what's gonna go where. I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do with this section right here. I feel like it goes out too wide, and I'm not sure if I want to just make it a straight shot this way, or if I want to round it off, or continue with this diagonal shape. I don't know. I think all of it looks really ugly, and I keep hitting these blocks right here, and then, oh, whoops. I keep hitting these blocks right here, and I don't want to bring the right side out further to make this miss it, because I think it just makes it look uglier. I'm getting kind of frustrated with that little section too, so I think we're going to come along this side and maybe try and figure it out from this angle. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out either, but at least we're being productive. Okay, I think I figured out how I'm going to do this backside, and I'm kind of satisfied with how it is now. I changed up the way that the angle itself works. I still kind of hit the farm, but I think we're going to be okay. But I don't know how I'm gonna do the other side now. I like how this looks and I like how this feels now, but when I come back over on this side, it basically just stops. I don't quite know how I'm gonna build around this farm. I might have to cut in right here and cut off a little part of the farm. I think I would be okay with that, but I don't know. See, that doesn't look bad, and it takes away a little bit of the farm's productivity. Let's see where this comes out to. That comes out like right at the end. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like that. We'll see. We're starting to make some good headway here, and I think I'm gonna add a little balcony slash walkway on this side, coming straight from this edge to meet up with the water wheel. This is gonna kind of go over the river, and I think it would look very interesting if it stopped right in front of the water wheel. I don't know why, but I feel like we should add this, and I feel like it's gonna add a lot to the build in its entirety. If it doesn't look good in the end, we'll probably get rid of it, but I feel like it's gonna be a really good thing to add this. And of course, we want to make this look natural too, so we're going to be adding some structure as well, putting pillars just like our main build about every 5 blocks. That may change depending on where we are in the build, but we're going to go straight up from the ground. So I've got the main points for this framework pretty much done and all laid out. Put a staircase right here on the corner, but we're gonna take a sky-high view of everything. I like this little section right here. It's gonna lead up into not a deck per se, but a form of walkway. This little roof is going to be extended all across this section right here, and I think that's going to look pretty good. We're also going to have another building on the very top of it, and that's going to house kind of our storage system and maybe even a few of our farmer villagers. So I've kind of been working on the second layer of our structure and our beams, And I kind of like what we got going on here. The roof is also going to match the similar architecture of the village, and it kind of fits with the size as well. But I think for now I'm going to start working on our little roof over here and try and get that shape knocked out. So I think what I'm going to do for this roof is copy what I have on the other side and just bring it right over here. And then maybe for this central arch, bring it up and just connect it that way. Like keep the same pattern and then just merge it in the middle. So I finished up the left side roof, and now I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to slope this up to the middle. I still want it to kind of have that bubbly roof shape, but I don't exactly know how I'm going to turn that into the peak of this roof. I basically want this to be an elongated dome, but to the point where it doesn't even look like a dome. So this is kind of the roof that I built, but I don't know if I like it. I was building this roof and then I kind of thought to myself, wouldn't it look cool if this front part was curved and then sloped down into this roof? So it kept that bubble feel, but also gave us kind of a patio as well. So I think I'm gonna try and put this together real fast and then see how it looks. I am loving the way this is turning out. I did a little bit more than I wanted to off camera, but I'm kind of glad I did, just so we can see this kind of finished roof area. I did a kind of a 2-split roof, and it is looking fantastic. I can't wait till we get this roof on that matches the rest of the village. This area is gonna look fantastic. Now that we've kind of got the detail of the roof figured out, we're gonna go back and work on the detail of the stone foundation. What? What the heck? Where'd they get in from? Oh no. Well, I guess our villager is dead, but we gotta figure out where these guys came in from. I swear, everything's plugged up. Where? I'm gonna look around for a minute. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I found out where they came in from. One singular block, and they all got in to kill my villager. Guess we gotta get a new one. Now that I actually know how to keep my villagers safe, I think it's time that we actually get back to working on this building and replacing all of the stone blocks in our foundation with the appropriate blocks. The closer we get to the water, the more green and mossy blocks I'm gonna add, and the further away we get, of course, they're gonna be less mossy, because moss by water. It only makes sense. It's a small little detail thing that I thought I'd add. Now that we've got most of our base constructed and we have pretty much everything at the base put in, we've got our staircase here leading up to what's gonna be some sort of patio, I think it's time we figure out what we're doing with the rest of this building. I think we should actually come up with a palette. And the first thing that I'm thinking is over by our villager trading hall, we've been trading a lot with our masons to get some trades unlocked, and we've got a bunch of bricks, and we also have a little bit of jungle wood. I saw on the Hermitcraft series, Good Times with Scar mixed in jungle wood with bricks, and I really liked the way that looked. I also think that we're going to add a little bit of these granite blocks just to kind of blend it in with the color of our village that's already here. So I think we're going to grab a few of those as well and see how that looks. This is the color palette I decided on. I think this is going to blend really well with the spruce and the different stone textures, and it's also going to blend really well with the rest of our village over here. I think altogether it's going to look really, really pretty. I've gone ahead and filled up the frame area with just granite. You're not going to really see anything else from the air, so I wanted to get an idea of what the color would actually be for the entire build. And I really like the way that this looks with our flyby, so I'm going to go ahead and start breaking up the texture of this granite with our brick, our wood, and our smooth granite, and give us a really nice feel in this general area right over here. We're going to be using the same technique that we did with the base and just throw random blocks of various textures in literally wherever we can, as long as it's not completely overwhelming with one certain color. I'm really loving the way that this building is turning out, just because I never would have thought to use jungle wood mixed in with granite. That's such an unusual concept, and I love the way that it works here. Yeah, this is a really good color palette. So we're gonna take another flyby just to kind of see if you can see it from the sky. You can a little bit, but you really only tell the difference when you get up close. I really like the way that this building is turning out. This looks fantastic. Unfortunately, we are out of time for this episode today. This is a little bit bigger of a project than I initially thought it was, so we're going to have to split this up into 2 parts. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching my building adventures today, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode to see how we finish up this build. But as always, my name is Red Skies, and I can't wait to see you next time. Goodbye. This is just a little bit of an announcement. Just because 1.17 has come out now, we are not going to be updating this world to 1.17 for a little while. Maybe not even until 1.18 comes out. I've been holding off on a lot of things that I would like to do in this world until the height change. There's a lot that I would like to do in this world with that addition. So I don't really see any value in going forward with the update yet. I might change my mind a little bit down the road, but we'll see. For now, we're going to stay in 1.16.